Hi guys, it's me Georgette of Jones on New Homes, and I'm here today with a story time. So, some people that know me in real life, when I say real life outside of social media, know that I actually filed Chapter 7 bankruptcy in 2021. And so I want to tell you about that. So I'll tell you the ending first. It was the best thing I ever did. So now you can continue to watch the video. So what ended up happening was I was in $127,000 of debt. And for just some questions that I have of videos like this, I followed the Dave Ramsey plan. I did that several times over the years, and at one point I worked 3 jobs. It just wasn't enough money. And so the working wasn't the issue, it was the income. And what ended up happening was I had a referral for a bankruptcy attorney here in the DFW area. And I went to him in, I guess that was October of 2020. And at that point, I was able to pay my bills, but like I said, I was trading water. I had a lot of credit card debt, and the $127,000, that was not including the student loan debt I had. And so it was credit cards, it was a vehicle, it was just a lot of things. At that point, I had paid my car off, and but I still had a lot of debt behind trying to fix it and things like that. So when I went to the attorney in October 2020, we went ahead and looked over everything. We did what's called a means test, and that's just pretty much seeing if I qualify for, Chapter 7, or if I would have to do a Chapter 13 bankruptcy. So I did qualify for Chapter 7, and it was more of okay, let's get ready. So the first step, when I went to go meet him, I had to do a questionnaire. The questionnaire was intense. It was really, really intense. It ended up being probably 25 pages of all of your financials. Anything you can think of that had to do with money, you have to talk about it. From your retirement accounts, if you owe your mom, if you owe your cousin, all the things. So any monies that you owe anyone, you had to put on this, it pretty much ended up being a workbook. And so in that initial meeting, I went ahead and went home. It took me probably about a week and a half to fill out that whole packet. I was overwhelmed. At this point, I was stressed. I felt a little bit defeated because I was like, I thought I was on top of my finances. And even though I could afford the bills, it was barely. And at that point, I had made the decision to sell a house. I had moved in with my sister. I had paid off one of my student loans, so I'm thinking I'm doing fantastic. And then as life just continued to happen, the money was going out faster than it was coming in. So once I went ahead and complete the workbook questionnaire for the bankruptcy attorney, I went ahead and had another appointment in November of 2020, and he said that I would need to pretty much find a place to stay for at least 2 years, because I knew that I wanted to purchase another home. And so that's exactly what I did. I went ahead and moved into an apartment in December. The first takeaway, so if you're taking notes on how to file Chapter 7 bankruptcy and bounce back, this is a note to take. And it is, you need a plan before you file. So I know you can file bankruptcy on your own, but my bankruptcy attorney helped me with a lot of things. And that was coming up with the plan. Like I said, having a place to stay. You can find somewhere to stay after you file bankruptcy, but it is very difficult, and sometimes it's not in the best area. So what I did was I went ahead and moved into an apartment in December 2020. We went ahead and signed a lease. I had a roommate, and I was buckling down, getting ready for these 2 years while I kind of navigate this Chapter 7 bankruptcy. So he also let me know when I went to that meeting in November that to qualify, the car that I had was paid off. I needed to go get another car. He actually gave me how much the payment on the new car would need to be. And so that's what I went out and did. At this point, he had already instructed me to stop paying my bills. So they were 30 days late, give or take, at this point. So I went ahead, went to the dealership, and this was actually when I bought my first luxury vehicle. Random, I know. Went ahead and bought it. He was like, the payment needs to be at least $410. I got the payment $409.91. And I purchased that car in January of 2021. And then I had to make the first payment and then go back to the attorney's office. So once I made that first payment in February, I went back to the bankruptcy attorney late in February. And then that's when the meeting of the creditors was scheduled for March. And what that means is you're going to meet with the trustee, and they're going to look over all your the debts that your attorney has submitted, and to all the people that you owe. And so I went ahead, we had that scheduled for March. We went, at this time, nothing was being done in person. So everybody was on a phone call, myself, along with, I want to say it was about 14 other people that were filing Chapter 7. They call you by name and pretty much just saying, what are you going to do not to get in debt again as far as to have to file bankruptcy? Along with doing that and taking a class on just how to be a better steward of your money. So like I said, I had a couple issues going on. One, I didn't have enough money. And two, there was not enough check for the bills I had. So once I went ahead and filed, then I said, well, what am I going to do once it actually discharges off my credit? It discharged off my credit in June 2021. And then the day after it discharged, I got a Fingerhook credit card. Now, I know what you're probably thinking, because I was thinking the same thing. Why are you going, if you've already been in this much debt, are you going to get back in debt? Like, what is this? Are you going to be filing another bankruptcy in another 7 years? And the answer is no. And this is why. So I knew that I needed to have a better credit portfolio than I did before. Prior to filing, I had all kinds of credit cards, any kind of credit card you can think of, Chase Sapphire, Discover, all the big ones. I had all of those. And I had several of them. And then also I had business debt as well from being a realtor. Comment below if you want a story time on all that debt incurred from being a realtor. And then I went ahead and I just started making sure my bills were paid on time. So I automated my bills after my bankruptcy discharged. And so once I automated things, at this point, like I said, to actually qualify for Chapter 7, you really can't make a lot of income. So then I had to pivot. I needed a new job. And so that's what I did. I went ahead through networking. That's when I got my first worked for my first builder, and that's how I was able to crawl myself out of bankruptcy, like the recovery from. And then I was just been on this journey to pretty much work on getting less debt. I won't use the word debt free, but less debt. And so what I did was I did go ahead and pay off my student loans. And then I purchased a home. So I do have debt from purchasing a home. But I absolutely love my home, and I definitely don't regret it. And so it is 2 years from the time that you actually discharge that you will be able to purchase a home using FHA. Or if you want to do conventional or USDA, it is 4 years from day of discharge. And so I'm grateful that I had the tool to file bankruptcy, but also just kind of the forethought to create a plan before actually filing. Like, where am I going to live at for 2 years? What is the plan to get a new job once I file? Because apparently I wasn't making enough money from the job I had. And so there was a lot of things to get ready for, especially with the support of my friends and family. My sister was instrumental in helping me bounce back. Being able to be added as an authorized user to her credit card is just been a host of support to help me get here today. And I'm beyond grateful for them. So if you guys have any questions at all about Chapter 7 bankruptcy, bouncing back, how to file, or if you'd like a referral for a bankruptcy attorney here in the DFW area, definitely don't hesitate to reach out and let me know. But as always, thank you for being the best part of my day. Have a good one.